Out in deep East Texas right now. You can see where the winds are all going towards that center of circulation here as we speak. And we are likely going to see these winds picking up here for deep East Texas over the next few hours. We've got a 39-mile-per-hour wind gust in Crockett. That is tropical storm force strength wind gust. Lufkin, Angelina County Airport has a 45-mile-per-hour wind gust right now. It peaked around 48 miles per hour earlier. But again, winds could gust as high as 60 miles per hour in deep East Texas and 50 miles per hour elsewhere. Some higher wind gusts have thus far made it as far north as Nacogdoches and Jacksonville, 26 to 28 miles per hour. But Tyler and Longview, your heaviest of the winds will not start to arrive until about 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon and last through the evening hours. So definitely want to continue to keep an eye on this system here as it drops, as it lifts off to the north and to the west. And a note about the tornado threat overall. We got a tornado watch in effect for the counties highlighted in red. That goes until 10 o'clock this evening. Now, I do think some of us will get this watch canceled before 10 o'clock, which is good news. But certainly make sure to stay weather aware in particular, especially through the 10 o'clock hour tonight, where we do have that tornado watch in effect. If we do get cancellations of the watch, it will happen from the southwest to the northeast gradually, slowly but surely throughout the day today as the center of Beryl will lift across East Texas. And again, as long as you're on that east side of the circulation where we have east, southeasterly, and southerly wind, that's where we do have that chance of a tornado. And again, the tornado probabilities, which we mentioned earlier, the highest threat of a tornado, look at that, is in the areas where we currently have the 2 tornado warnings at this time. And so Storm Prediction Center there pretty accurate with this area of a 10% chance of a tornado. Certainly, Carson, we are seeing this area in particular to be on the more tornado-y side, for a lack of a better word, of this tropical system, because again, it's on that east side, and because there's also some dry air filtering in as well. That could also lead to increased instability, which could lead to more tornado threats this afternoon.
Yeah, you're certainly right about that, Andrew. We continue to monitor showers and thunderstorms in our southeastern counties, and this is going to amount out to quite a bit of rain. But as Andrew was just discussing, we are on the messy side of the storm. It's usually the northeastern and eastern quadrant of the storm that does tend to produce tornadoes, and unfortunately, we are beginning to see that trend take suit today. Now, I want to reiterate this, as Andrew was mentioning, we don't have any tornado warnings that are ground truth confirmed, meaning nobody has seen a tornado, so we don't have an observed tornado across Sabine or St. Augustine counties. These tornado warnings have been issued in front of a potential tornado just to give folks in that area enough lead time. Now, the main threat for today is not the threat of tornadoes. It is the threat of flash flooding, because tropical systems, they do produce a lot of rainfall. And we have seen quite a bit of rainfall already across deep East Texas, and even some training of showers and thunderstorms from what we saw yesterday produced quite a bit of rainfall along Highway 155. Now, I'm going to zoom into some of these locations here just to show you what all has occurred already. And you can see near Berryville, about 4.1 inches of rain just to the west of Highway 155. And then as we do this, you can see a good concentration of rainfall here, where you are seeing the yellows and the oranges. We have seen already between 2 to 5 inches of rainfall, and it's these locally heavy amounts that could cause pretty quick flash flooding. That's very close to Lake Palestine. There are a lot of creeks that feed out of Lake Palestine and into Lake Palestine. Those are the areas of concern currently. So further off to the east, where Andrew and I have been mentioning the dirty part of the storm, we could see quite a bit of rainfall as well. So as we go to the east, you can see some heavy rainfall has occurred in Shelby County already, where we have seen an estimated, by radar, about 3.2 inches of rain. No, that's kind of hard to see there, but anywhere you're seeing the yellow, we have seen over 2 inches of rain already. And the same goes for Timpson and Tenaha, just to the northwest of Center. We've got more yellow showing up there on the map. And then further off to the south, that is where we are seeing the threat of tornadoes, and we have also seen some heavy rain right along Sam Rayburn here. So Sam Rayburn, which has been high most of the summer, is going to continue to increase its water depth with all of the rain that is moving in. But let's say the good news with all of this is the fact that we are seeing cooler temperatures. A lot of you have been saying to me how dry it's getting in your pastures. Things are looking up there as well, because I do think, and Andrew can agree or disagree with me here, I do think we are going to see all of July's rainfall here within the first week or so. So Andrew agrees with that, and we'll certainly take that. I kind of wish it was spread over time, but unfortunately we're all seeing it at one time just because of the nature of this tropical system. But the reason why we are on the air right now is we do have 2 tornado warnings here in East Texas. As Andrew was already talking about, we have one for western Sabine, eastern San Augustine, including the communities of Pineland and San Augustine, and also extreme southern Shelby County. And then right near Toledo Bend itself, we also have this tornado warning, which includes the Texas-Louisiana border, but all of this is Lake Toledo Bend or Toledo Bend Reservoir. So any of the little camps along Toledo Bend Reservoir, you're going to want to stay in shelter, because we do have multiple areas of concern with some rotation, and a tornado could form at any time in this polygon. So let's go ahead and show you what's all happening. I'll take the rainfall totals off. Bear with me for 1 second, and we will show you the areas of concern. So what you see in a tropical system, you don't really see real impressive classic supercell rotation where you've got a big hook on the radar and you can tell exactly where the potential tornado is. This is a very messy radar picture and very messy wind detector, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint where exactly. But what we like to look for in this case are anywhere where we do have some of that red and green coming together. Of course, the greens, that's anything that is moving towards the Shreveport radar site. The reds are anything that's moving away from the Shreveport radar site. So kind of hard to see from this angle, but bear with me. I'm going to zoom in. The good news is this area of rotation, it's over in Louisiana, and just based on what I am seeing, this looks pretty broad. So this would be the area of concern. We do have some lightning to the west of U.S. Highway 171 there, and this would be the area of concern. So you do have the greens heading towards the radar site, and then the reds going away from the radar site. So that's in Louisiana. Over in Sabine County, I'm not really seeing much in the way of evidence of any rotation, but this is something we'll have to watch for. And I know this kind of looks very messy. So one thing I'm going to do is we're going to bring up another tool just to try and pinpoint where those directional wind changes are occurring, where we do have that wind shear or rotation occurring in the atmosphere. And we can do this with our Beryl radar system. It's just another way to look at the rotation detectors. So what I'm going to put up is something called the shear rate, and there you go. Much better image of what we are seeing. So there's Toledo Bend. There's Sexton. There's Alexander's Store. So to the east of Alexander's Store and to the east of the lake there, this is where the rotation is. A couple of those coves that kind of jut out into Louisiana. I'm sure we do have a lot of interest in bass fishing of those coves on the Louisiana side. That is where I'm most concerned. And we do have quite a few of these areas right now that could spin something up quick. So that's one of them. Notice on the Texas side, not a lot happening, but this area of rotation is moving in the direction of Alexander's Store. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And one thing I am beginning to see is on the east side, we are seeing a little bit of lightning in Louisiana, which could be a sign of some strengthening. So as Andrew mentioned, if the storm itself is getting a little bit of dry air in it, sometimes we can see a little bit of heating from that. And anytime we have warmer temperatures with these storms, we do tend to see more instability, which instability, in a way, does create enough energy for lightning to occur. So that could be a sign where we are seeing that concentration of lightning here, that the storm is beginning to strengthen a little bit, and that's not necessarily something we want to see. But as has been mentioned in the chat, you've got 3 separate areas of rotation. You've got one down here by Monk's Hammock to the east of Clare. It looks like to the west of Hornbeck and to the west of Interstate 49. You've got one to the west of Fisher, and then you've got one just to the north of Alliance and to the east of Alexander Store, Texas. Andrew.
Yeah, so National Weather Service, Shreveport just issuing a new tornado warning for Cherokee, Nacogdoches, and Rusk counties. You can see should have just popped up there near Cushing.
Yep. And that one's down, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's just been radar observed there. So let's see, let me read that information. It's radar confirmed tornado, so we don't have eyesights, but the radar indicating that there is the tornado on the ground there.
All right, so looks like we do have a new tornado warning. Andrew just mentioned that, and based on what I am seeing here, Andrew, that's going to be northwestern Nacogdoches, eastern Cherokee, and southwestern Rusk County.
Yes, and it is moving west at 55 miles per hour. The tornado-producing storm is located near Trawick, or 16 miles northwest of Nacogdoches.
So 16 miles northwest of Nacogdoches. So we've got areas of concern here. It looks like, okay, that is State Highway 204, and then we do have this area of rotation near Dextra. So we're going to get a better look at this. I'm going to pop up the storm relative velocity. You can't really see much in there, so let me pick up another view. And, okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and see how it is moving. And it looks like, what was the direction on the storm?
It's moving west at 55 miles per hour.
So west at 55 miles per hour. All right.
Very interesting direction for it.
Yeah, very interesting direction. And what Andrew means by that is with these storms, typically you're seeing them move from southwest to northeast on a classic tornado day in, let's say, the fall or the spring. But with the tropical system, you do tend to see them move from southeast to northwest. So that's what we are seeing right here. It's taking a south-southeasterly direction. And it looks like, okay, let's go ahead. Andrew, stay off the screen for 1 second. He's got a really good picture of the debris detector. So if we could take that full screen real quick, this will give you the exact location of where the tornado is. So right over Cushing there, that's going to be very close to the Rusk and Nacogdoches County line. That's going to be to the southwest of Valley Grove, and that's going to be moving in the direction of Reckloss. So great job, Andrew, in showing us that. We use the correlation coefficient, which can be messy at times, but this is a great picture and a great representation that this tornado is right over Cushing right now. So we do have a tornado down in Cushing, and that continues to move off to the west at around 50 miles per hour. And what Andrew is doing is he is showing you some of those arrival times. So go ahead and take it away, Andrew, and tell us what the arrival times are. We got 12:59 on the clock.
Sure. We've got the Sackville area at 104, Dexter at 105, Fairview at 108, Reclaw at 109. So you have about 9 minutes in Reclaw. Tornado likely on the ground there, heading towards your way. Circle at 110, New Salem also at 110, Shady Grove at 111, Striker Creek Junction at 112, Lone Star at 115, and Ponta at 115 as well. Let me go ahead and put on some more towns perhaps that we can maybe see here with this tornado warned storm. And again, this is really looking out ahead here at this point. So when you put the bigger communities in, we really go outside of this warning at this time. But just worth mentioning that if this storm holds together, it will be over you in Rusk at 119, Jacksonville at 128, Frankston by 144. But again, that is way down the line there. So again, that area of rotation You can't really see it on radar when you look at the velocity, but you can see it very well on the debris signature. You can see surrounding the entire area there is almost all these reds and purples. Notice that surrounding the areas, but notice all of a sudden we have these greens and yellows that are showing up. Well, the red is just raindrops being picked up on the radar. Raindrops are very small, and that's what it translates to size-wise, this purple color. But once you have the bigger objects being lofted into the air, that's when you start to see the greens and the yellows out there, and even the blues in a stronger tornado, indicating that debris is being sent around. Now, Cushing, this is still right on top of you at this point in time. Again, this isn't radar indicated rotation anymore. This is a tornado that is on the ground, and this is riding right along State Highway 204, although it looks like the best circulation is just to the north, just riding to the north of Highway 204 there near Dogneck Road and County Road 975. You need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place right now. The Sackule area near County Road 890. Also make sure that you are in your tornado safe place, because that is the next community in line. Again, looks like Cushing unfortunately maybe took a direct hit here from this tornado. Again, that just kind of sprang up very quickly, and we just got this new update here from the National Weather Service, or from the radar, excuse me, of this thunderstorm as it continues to lift off to the north and to the west here. It's moving very quickly. Looks like the worst of this storm will miss the downtown Sackule area, just off to the north and to the east there. But if you are in Reclaw, now is the time to get into your tornado safe place. Do so right this moment, because again, that is where this area of debris is moving on in. Notice the greens have started to go away. It's been replaced by some of the yellows. That hopefully means the debris is getting a little bit lighter out there, which means the tornado is either weakening or it's already lifted, and this is just the remaining debris that's out there. But it's certainly something that we need to watch very closely. But again, if you are in Reclaw, make sure you're in your tornado safe place right now. Again, that's the lowest floor. Interior room of a sturdy structure, leaving as many walls between you and the outside world as possible. And again, this is the area where we see the potential, or the debris signature right on top of you at J.D. Gresham Road right now, going to cross State Highway 204 just east of Reclaw over by Main Street there, which is U.S. Highway 84 out there, which of course is a major thoroughfare through East Texas. But if you are along the U.S. Highway 84 corridor, it's Shady Grove and Reclaw in East Texas, where you need to have a tornado, where you need to get into your tornado safe place. Other places along Highway 84 include Rusk and Mount Enterprise. You're not included in any tornado warning right now. And again, this is for parts of Nacogdoches and southern Rusk County and into western Cherokee County as well. But again, heading towards you in Reclaw at this moment, you need to be into your tornado safe place. We'll zoom in a little bit more to get even more roadways out there. Again, Ritchie Lane, Tough Street, Gregson Lane, State Highway 204, and County Road 4180D. You need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. We'll go even further down the line here. So again, Reclaw, make sure you're in your tornado safe place. After Reclaw, this area of debris will head towards you in Stryker Creek Junction, pretty much riding right along State Highway 204 from Reclaw to Stryker Creek Junction is where you also need to be in your tornado safe place, also including there County Road 4319, FM 235, and County Road 4401. Yes, Carson.
All right, Andrew, this is getting very active now. We've got a new tornado warning coming for the city of Mount Enterprise.
All right, so another tornado warning there. Looks like that has yet to show up here on the map, but it should be here very shortly.
Yep, right.
And perhaps another area of rotation. Go ahead and take a look there at the Shreveport radar site to get a better idea there of the velocity, and it looks like it may be for this little area of rotation right here near the Minden area perhaps, and looks like there may be some other spots of rotation as well, but again, we'll wait on that warning box to get more information. But again, Cushing looks like it just took a direct hit from a tornado. That same area is heading towards Reclaw. Unfortunately, there's not really much rotation in this system over by Reclaw showing up on radar, so we just have to rely on the debris signature. But there's that new tornado warning. It looks like like, actually, it looks like the rotation may have just stayed just north of Mount Enterprise there. If you are on the north side of town, though, in Mount Enterprise, heading towards, say, the Brackfield area, you need to be in your tornado safe place. But it looks like Mount Enterprise proper, you're just out of reach of this tornado warning. Yes, Carson?
All right, we've got the literature on it now, Andrew. So tornado warning is out for southeastern Smith, southwestern Panola, southwestern Rusk, north central Cherokee County. This goes until 1:45 at 1:04. At 1:04 in the afternoon, Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Minden, or 8 miles south of Henderson, moving northwest at 40 miles per hour. Going to repeat again. So the tornado warning goes for southeastern Smith, southwestern Panola, southwestern Rusk, north central Cherokee County until 1:45. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Minden, or 8 miles south of Henderson, moving to the northwest at 40 miles per hour. This dangerous storm could be near Troop around 1:30 and ARP around 1:35, which are locations in Smith County. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Concord and Brockfield.
All right, thank you for that information, Carson. So yeah, another tornado warning just issued there in southern, south central Rusk County, south of Henderson, north of Mount Enterprise. But the Minden area, you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. Here's a look at some other locations, at least a little bit closer in line here. 116 in Pone, Henderson at 116 as well. Although again, I do think this misses Henderson just to the south and to the west of town there. But Crimcrest at 117, Hickey at 117, Lakeview at 118, Good Springs at 119, Henderson High School at 119 as well, and Gum Springs at 120, Stringtown at 120, and Big Springs at 123. So again, if you live on the south side of Henderson, I would make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. Elsewhere, we are going to see that tornado threat be with us over in Big Springs, the Price area, and it does include parts of the White House area as well, all of those spots. Now, the one piece of good news is the farther east you go, west you go rather with this system, the winds start to go from a more stable direction out there. So hopefully these will weaken as they say approach the Tyler, White House, Winona, and Jacksonville areas, but we'll wait and see on that one. But right now we do have that tornado warning that does include that area of rotation near Minden. So we'll go ahead and zoom into that here. It was a little bit more impressive earlier on, so maybe some signs of weakening. But even though the rotation's weakening, that was the case in that Cushing storm, but it still had debris. So let's just take a look at debris signature just in case. And it doesn't look like we have anything of note on the debris signature, which is good news. The purples and the reds indicating the raindrops out there. You do see a little bit of yellow, but that's probably just some bigger raindrops because it's far away from that area of rotation. But if you are in Minden, up towards Hickey, Stringtown, and yes, the city of Henderson, you are included in this tornado warning. So make sure that you are in your tornado safe place in the city of Henderson. So again, that storm here arrives within the next 5 to 10 minutes or so for Henderson, although it does look like the greatest threat of a tornado will just say south of town there. But again, heading towards Hickey, Stringtown, and Price. So make sure you're in your tornado safe place in those locations. We'll go ahead and zoom in, and just like before, we'll get some more road names out there where this area of circulation is going to. Again, I'll zoom in a little bit more so I can get those road names out there. County Road 377, County Road 314, County Road 438, County Road 438 as well, extending all the way westward. We are going to see that chance of that tornado, so make sure you're in your tornado safe place. Going down the line here, again, we mentioned Hickey. You need to be in your tornado safe place. If you live along FM 839, make sure you get into your tornado safe place. County Road 413. This Hickey goes through Highway 79, and so make sure that if you live on Highway 79 as well, near the Hickey area, near the intersection of FM 839, that you are in your tornado safe place. Going a little bit farther down the line here to give you some more roads. heading towards the Stringtown area, we've got County Road 464D, County Road 415, County Road 462, and County Road 415. If you just heard your road name mentioned, you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place, which, as a reminder, is the lowest floor interior room of a sturdy structure. And again, this is lifting off to the north and to the west at about 45 miles per hour. So let's do a little bit of a reset here because we do have a lot of tornado warnings now across the area, and we'll clear the radar as well. We'll just leave it on reflectivity here for a second. We've got the tornado warning just north of Nacogdoches that had the tornado move through Cushing earlier. We've got the tornado warning that we just talked about, which includes Henderson and includes eastern parts of Smith County near White House. We've got a tornado warning out in northern San Augustine County. We've got a tornado warning out in Sabine County, and it looks like we have another tornado warning just issued also for parts of Shelby and Panola counties. So again, we've got 5 different tornado warnings here across East Texas. We've got one confirmed tornado near Cushing, so we'll talk about that first. It's probably the most important storm right now because it is on the ground heading towards Reclaw, if not on Reclaw already, and eventually down the line is Ponta and Elm Grove. So we'll go ahead and put the debris signature on it once again to see if it's still indicating that debris. Again, that's called dual pole. At this point, the good news is here, I think the area that we were looking at of debris looks like it is now gone. So that is some good news heading towards the Reclaw area. You're still under a tornado warning. If you're still in that polygon, you need to make sure you're in a tornado safe place. But some good news with that thunderstorm west of Cushing, it does look like, at least for now, the tornado has lifted, and we'll verify that here with our velocity scan. And we're kind of in a radar dead zone right here, but again, doesn't look like there's strong rotation anymore. Still, this is considered on the ground, so if you are in Reclaw, you need to make sure you are in your tornado safe place. Remains to be seen whether or not that will be extended, but if this tornado warning does get extended, and that's a if, it's not a guarantee, it will include you in Rusk, Gallatin, and Jacksonville. So what you need to do in those locations, you just need to keep an eye on this for now. You don't need to get to your tornado safe place unless there's a tornado warning issued. We talked about the Henderson tornado warned storm. Let's go ahead and talk about this one out in parts of Shelby and Panola counties. And this is one of our more newer tornado warnings as well for this area of rotation just to the north and to the west of Huxley. So we'll go ahead and zoom in to that area of rotation, and you can see right where the greens meet the reds, rotation's a little bit stronger in this area. Zoom into that, and you can see this is the area of rotation right now, which is a tornado warned storm for parts of Panola and Shelby counties. This is right on top of let's see, FS Road 107, and there we go, there's a new radar scan, so let's go ahead and reset that. And the radar looks like maybe the rotation is tightened up a little bit with this cell out in, again, this is Shelby County, just east of Antioch and east of Campty, which, by the way, if you just heard those town names and you live there, make sure you're in your tornado safe place. This is heading mostly towards Fellowship and Joaquin, though, and the Logansport area. So you're crossing the Sabine River, plan to over in parts of East Texas to Louisiana. I definitely want to make sure that you pull over and get inside a sturdy structure here if you're under a tornado warning. And again, this area of rotation is another one that we are watching out in parts of Shelby County. And thankfully, this is not our area, but a new tornado warning just off to our east. But again, some rotation south of Logansport and south of Joaquin. So if you are in those two areas, make sure that you are in your tornado safe place because we do have that rotation tightening up a little bit just east of the Campty area right now. Again, this is heading towards you in Fellowship, Logansport, and Old Center out there. In all those locations, you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. We'll go ahead and take a look at the dual pole here to see any damage indicator, and there may be some leaves flying around there, some lighter colors, but I do think in terms of rotation, this probably has the strongest area of rotation just east of Campty right now. So once again, Campty, Fellowship, and make sure you're in your tornado safe place right now. Joaquin, Logansport, also make sure you are in your tornado safe place. Yes, Carson?
Yes, just to catch you up, we've got several warnings in East Texas right now, Andrew, and the latest one for our area specifically is the one you're talking about right now. So the tornado warning was for southwestern DeSoto Parish and northwestern Louisiana, southeastern Panola County, northeastern Shelby County, and this goes until 1:45. At 1:09 Central Daylight Time, which was 6 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northeast of Shelbyville and 12 miles east of Center, moving north at 50 miles per hour. So again, we've got multiple warnings in the area. Andrew is drawing a storm track on this. And what we're going to do, Andrew, since we do have all these warnings in our eastern and southeastern counties, we're going to shift here a little bit. We've got Tori Bean in the Weather Center. She's going to take over updates and behind-the-scenes things with the National Weather Service. I'm going to have you analyze those two storms in San Augustine, Shelby, and Panola counties, while I'm going to talk about the storms in Panola, Smith, Cherokee, and Rusk County. So we're going to have you on the 9-pack. I'm going to take over the wall, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a tag team here where we are discussing each individual cell, because there's a lot going on right now, and we just want to make sure we're keeping people safe. Everybody's getting the information we need, so bear with us. But meteorologist Andrew Samet doing an excellent job of keeping us up to date with all the warnings and everything we have going on. And again, folks, this does happen. Most of these tornadoes will be on the weaker side, EF0, EF1, and we've only had one confirmed on the ground so far here in East Texas. So the nature of the day is going to be these weak spin-up tornadoes, which are going to pop up quite often, and it's just something that we are going to really have to keep our weather wits about us. So if you live in East Texas, pretty much east of Smith and Cherokee County, be on alert. So make sure you have two ways to find weather information. Or live stream. If you're watching us on the air, you happen to lose power, make sure you download that East Texas Storm Team app, because we are live streaming this on KETK and Fox51.com. Tori, do you have something?
Yes, so Rusk and Panola and Shelby are now extended to 2 p.m.
Okay, so Rusk, Cherokee, and Panola? Shelby, Panola, and Rusk County,
yes,
until 2 o'clock?
Until 2 o'clock.
Okay. What Tori is talking about are these two storms here, and it looks like we've got a rotation now right over Timpson that Andrew was just talking about, and you can see this is very close to Timpson, and if something has touched down, it's impacted the community of Timpson. No ground truth on that or anything like that, but this is one of those storms that is producing pretty tight rotation here. You can see the green inbound winds going towards the Shreveport radar site and the red outbound winds going away from the Shreveport radar site, and that is going to be to the northwest of Timpson now, moving off to the northwest. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to put a storm track on this thing, and we're going to track it off to the northwest at about 50 miles per hour. And in this tornado warning polygon, we do have Brockfield, Chapman, Churchill, Clayton, Buncombe, I apologize if I am mispronouncing that, Pine Hill, Chapman. Every area in this red polygon, which is kind of hard to see, so I'm going to put up the reflectivity. We've got lots of rain, but everywhere in this region, you do need to be seeking shelter, because this is something you're not going to see. It's going to be a rain-wrapped storm either way, just a lot of heavy rain in the area. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on this, and we're going to have to keep a close eye on that debris detector as well. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to track this off to the northwest. This is moving at about 50 miles per hour, so I do need to get a better vantage point on this. And as we look at the storm, this is very close to Timpson, and we're tracking it off to the northwest at 50 miles per hour. So in that polygon, we do have Booncombe at 129, Bryce 130, Daniels at 130, Dotson 131, Clayton at 134, Long Branch 136, Delray 138, Holland Quarters at 139, Brockfield at 140. So all those regions I just mentioned in the storm. Now let's go ahead and talk about the storm that's more centralized in Rusk County, probably to the south of Henderson right now. And I want to welcome in everybody listening on KTBB, which is also a good source to get your information. Let's say you got an old radio at home. You can also stream them on the KTBB app. But if you are driving, first and foremost, you should not be driving if you're to the east of Highway 69 right now. Lots of heavy rain. We're getting brief spin-up tornadoes. So keep monitoring everything. I'm going to send it over to Andrew now, because we do have multiple warnings in the area, and it looks like this storm in Shelby County has strengthened significantly, Andrew.
Yeah, Carson, now we were taking a look at this, showed some signs of a debris signature earlier near Fellowship. Now it definitely has a tornadic debris signature. You can see the flashing polygon indicating that that tornado is confirmed just south of Fellowship, where you see this big blue blob. That is indicating some debris that is flying around. And when you have the blue color there, that indicates that that debris may be quite large out there. So this is a potentially dangerous thunderstorm heading towards the Fellowship area this morning. We were looking at that rotation here earlier. This has just gone radar it confirmed here heading towards the Jackson area. So let me go ahead and put back on the debris detector. Probably our best way of seeing this tornado on the ground. Listen, if you are in Jackson up towards Joaquin, you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place right now. This is no longer a radar indicated tornado. This is a confirmed tornado right on top of you in County Road 3182, heading towards Jackson, heading towards FM 2428 and Joaquin. Yes, Tori.
So we got confirmed 3 radar confirmed tornadoes on Going Tour in Shelby, 1 in Sabine Parish.
All right, thank you for that information there. Yeah, lots of these spin-up tornadoes definitely happening. As Tori just mentioned, there's another spin-up tornado. That looks like it should stay away from our area. Thankfully, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. And then we have that thunderstorm that's blinking, and then there goes that one, where we also have a debris signature right now in our northern parts of Shelby County. So bear with us here. Multiple areas of rotation. We'll go over both of them. Again, Fellowship, Paxton, Logansport, Joaquin, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now, eventually Old Center and Galloway. And then there's another area of rotation. Timpson, you're all right, but heading towards Dotson, Pine Hill, and Chapman, we are going to see that tornado on the ground. That debris signature, not as impressive as the one near Fellowship, but certainly is there. Again, that's heading towards you in Dotson, Pine Hill, Chapman, and Churchill there. That is heading into parts of Rusk and into parts of Panola County. And then again, we have that debris signature as well out in the Fellowship area heading towards you in Joaquin. So make sure you're in your tornado safe place there. Again, this is the indication that we do have debris that is being lofted in the air by a tornado. You can see everything is red around it. It's picking up raindrops, except for this area where it is likely picking up some probably large tree limbs, if not some structural damage as well. And again, this is continuing to move to the north and to the east here, about to cross State Highway 7 just north of Jacksonville, or just north of Jackson, excuse me. This is Jackson, Texas. This is over by the Louisiana state line. It's not anything to do with Jacksonville, but it's crossing State Highway 7 right now near Fellowship, and this is heading straight towards Joaquin, a tornado on the ground heading right towards central Joaquin. So again, if you are watching, or if you have friends or family in Joaquin, Texas, they need to be in their tornado safe place right now. Not really a drill anymore. There is a tornado on the ground, and not only is there a tornado on the ground, but it is also doing damage, and potentially significant damage, because the debris signature is very clear out there, about to cross State Highway 7 heading towards you in Joaquin. So again, Joaquin FM 2428 to US Highway 84. You need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. And eventually, down the line, this will head towards potentially Galloway if it holds together. Hopefully, it doesn't hold together that long. These have had a tendency to spin up really quickly here and kind of wind down. So we'll hope that trend continues. Another impressive debris signature out in Louisiana. And then this other debris signature out in parts of Shelby County, just north and west of Timpson, heading towards the Dotson area. But again, Carson, it looks like this tornado-warned storm near Fellowship definitely has the most strongest debris signature right now. So if there is one tornado in particular right now that's the strongest, it's probably that one here in East Texas.
Yes, Andrew, great job with analysis on that. And it looks like the debris detector is going to be our most valuable tool with all of this, because we have tons of rain, and that's the primary threat here. With some very heavy rainfalls going to come some flash flooding. And with the debris detector, we can detect where tornadoes are on the ground and doing damage. And it's a very good tool for us to use here in East Texas, because we do have lots of trees, lots of vegetation here. And unfortunately, when those tornadoes move through, you got all those tree branches and trees that do tend to show up on radar if something significant is happening. So Andrew was talking about the eastern Shelby County storm. I'm now going to discuss the northwestern Shelby County storm, which is a tornado that has also been radar confirmed due to the debris signature, and it was near the Timpson area. So we're going to do some analysis on that. This is moving into northwestern Shelby County as what we were discussing, and we'll put on the dual polarization. So it's very close to the Rusk, Panola, and northwestern Shelby County line near Dotson and Bryce. So if you live in Dotson and Bryce, you do need to be seeking shelter right now, because this is a potential tornado that has already been radar confirmed that is moving in your direction. So I'm going to look up at the screen. We're going to show you some of these road names, and you can see immediately downstream it's probably very close to Farm to Market Road 999, Farm to Market Road 1971, County Road 178, that's more so on the northeast side. I doubt it hits that. And then you've got County Road 170, and then further off to the north in both eastern Rusk and western Panola County, Highway 84, about 10 to 15 miles to the northeast of Mount Enterprise. I am very concerned with Highway 84, which actually turns into State Highway 315 in western Panola County after you get out of Mount Enterprise. But I'm concerned from about Clayton all the way down into extreme eastern Rusk County, which that intersection right there is going to be County Road 3122 south. It's from that intersection all the way into the community of Clayton along State Highway 315. No driving along State Highway 315 in that region. Also near Dotson, as I just mentioned. County Road 171, County Road 1641, County Road 160. That's where this potential tornado is heading. And this is not as strong, but it is still apparent on radar. What we are watching is this, what we like to call a CC drop, or just an area where all the objects don't really match up. We don't have a bunch of rainfall. This is likely, a few leaves, a few tree limbs that the storm is eating up, either due to wind or tornadic winds, and that's where it is right now. So it's between Dotson and Bryce, continuing to move up to the northwest. Eventually, this is going to move into eastern Rusk County. That would be to the east of Minden. Even if you live in Minden, you're going to have to watch these storms very carefully, because the nature of this afternoon has been that these storms end up spinning up very quickly, and unfortunately, Andrew and I do anticipate that this is going to be an ongoing thing. So that is the warning there in portions of Panola and eastern Rusk County. The blinking polygon, radar confirmed tornado. And we'll put a storm track on this real quick, and then we're going to talk about what's happening in central Rusk County. We'll hit on that just a little bit, and then I want to get back over to Andrew with that storm that continues to track through Shelby County. But this moving up to the northeast, Tori, we do have another tornado warning.
Yes, so just came in for Panola, St. Augustine, and Shelby. It says until 2 p.m. And there has been some reports of residential damages on County Road 117 in Nacogdoches County.
Okay. So very good. It looks like there has been a little bit of damage reported in Nacogdoches County, so we'll inform the newsroom on that. But here are some of the arrival times with that storm pushing through Panola County right now. I'm actually going to redraw that real quick because that's a little out of date. Again, it looks like we're not really seeing the debris signature there anymore, so some good news. But this is something that could literally spin up at any time. There are some of the arrival times on this storm. Dotson 132, 136 in Clayton, Long Branch 136, Pine Hill 140, Chapman 145, Church Hill 149, Liberty 149, and then Arbor 150. That continues to push up to the north and to the west. And then we also have this tornado warning that's still in effect for, it looks like extreme western Panola. Of course, I would not think that, well, it is in danger because we've got another warning off to the east, so scratch that. But the main danger with this tornado warning polygon looks to be moving into Cherokee in southeastern Smith County. As we mentioned before, ARP and Troop, the possible arrival time for that storm is within the next 15 or so minutes. You're probably already seeing some heavy rain, which you are, and all of this activity continues to move in your direction. So the rain is getting progressively heavier as it pushes off to the north and to the northwest. So you do have Cherokee and southeastern Smith County now in line with this tornado polygon. So we've got these two storms. Andrew is keeping a very close eye on these two tornado warnings. The one that Tori was just mentioning is out for San Augustine, Shelby, and Panola County, and the one that's already produced a tornado warning is now moving into southeastern Panola County. Andrew, what do you have on that one?
All right, so yeah, we are still tracking that area of rotation, which moved very close to Joaquin earlier. It's now located right here, just south of Galloway and just east of Paxton, but this is heading towards you in Old Center and eventually towards the Antioch area out in parts of Shelby and Panola counties. So this is something that it could still be on the ground right now, but one reason why I think the tornado may have lifted at this point in time, notice that those brighter colors in the yellow there, it was kind of off-centered from where that area of rotation is. So what probably happened here is the tornado that was on the ground near Joaquin earlier has wrapped back up into the clouds and it's sent its debris out ahead of this main line of rotation. And so that is something that could have occurred, or this can still be a tornado on the ground, and it just so happens that the damage is very misplaced on the left-hand side of it. So it's definitely something that we continue to watch here, and it does look like they are removing the tornado on the ground, the confirmed tornado. It looks like they drew up a new polygon here that is no longer blinking. You can see the original one, which included down to Fellowship and North Jericho, and now that has been allowed to go away, but still a tornado warning in effect. That includes Galloway, Old Center, and also the Antioch area. And apologize for the confusion. Looks like we also have an Antioch in Shelby County and an Antioch in Panola County for some reason, but it's the Antioch that is in Panola County that we are seeing that tornado threat right now. And so if you are in Antioch out in Shelby County, you're good to get out of your tornado safe place. But if you are in the Antioch in Panola County, you need to make sure that you are still in your tornado safe place. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the velocity again, because again, the rotation itself is, or there could honestly be a second area of rotation forming also in Old Center as well. This is just the nature of the beast with these tropical systems, that you have one area of rotation develops, it gets replaced with another one, gets replaced with another one, and we just see that pattern continue. But I think right now the biggest rotation concern, and this is what we have to think about when we're seeing multiple rotations, is which area has the best rotation right now, and that's the one we need to focus on the most, because that's more likely to drop a tornado than an area of rotation that has, broad circulation. But again, this area of rotation is right near County Road 438 right now, just south and west of Galloway. This is heading towards you in Old Center and County Road 430, County Road 4302, and FM 699. You need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place in those locations, because that is where we have this area of rotation moving on through just south and west of Galloway, and again heading towards you in the Old Center area. area. So that is that tornado warning storm. That is thankfully not a tornado confirmed storm anymore, but we do have another tornado warning that does include northern San Augustine and into central portions of Shelby County as well. And I think this is the first tornado warning that does include the city of Center. So if you're in Center, Tenaha, and Timpson, the kind of big cities there out in Shelby County, you need to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place in all those locations. Now, the rotation area is a little bit messy with this little cell that has developed. You can see some areas of red and green near Short and Jericho, which may be some very broad rotation, some other areas of rotation near Brady and Ironosa here. So multiple spots where we can't rule out a tornado. So just make sure that if you are in that tornado warning polygon, that you are in your tornado safe place. We'll switch over to our debris detector, and thankfully we're not seeing any signs of debris out there with this tornado warning storm. That includes the city of Center. That's good news. Of course, it can spin up at any time, so we'll still need to keep an eye on it. But again, we do have that tornado warning, and that goes until 2 p.m. for central Shelby County and northern San Augustine County. Yes, Tori.
All right, Andrew, so we just got informed the tornado warning for northwestern Shelby County is now canceled.
Okay, so that is some news that I wanted to hear. One less tornado warning is a good thing out there because, again, as you can see the screen, very crowded with tornado warnings. So again, that was the one from northwest Shelby County should be allowed to be canceled here. And so that should pop away here within the next few minutes. But at that point, it looks like now with that being canceled, it does look like we don't have any more confirmed tornadoes on the ground here locally anymore. So that is a welcomed trend for us, but still active tornado warnings that do include parts of central and western Shelby County into northern San Augustine County, and then also into southern portions of Panola County as well. So again, a couple of spots still that need to be in their tornado safe place. We'll call this warning number 1 right at the Louisiana state line. Galloway, Paxton, Antioch in Panola counties. So Panola counties, Antioch, you need to be in your tornado safe place. Tenaha, Timpson, Jericho, Center, Brady, and down into northern San Augustine County, we've got Ironosa and Calgary. You need to make sure you're in your tornado safe place. And last but not least, we've got this third tornado warning that includes you in Minden, Henderson, Hickey, Big Springs, Salem, Arp, and this does go into western Smith County and the northeast corner of Cherokee County, and the eastern portion of Smith County, including Arp, Overton, Salem, and a Troop. Now, this tornado warning that includes the city of Henderson has thankfully not seen any confirmed tornadoes, which has been good news. It's shown some tighter rotation here or there, but it does look like the storm's weakening just a little bit. Yes, Carson and Tori.
Yes, so it says Tyler, Longview, and surrounding areas, a band of tornadic supercells with embedded cirques are moving west and into the area now. Quick spin-ups likely.
Okay, so that's basically what the Weather Service is saying there in the chat, is that this band of showers and thunderstorms, which we have been tracking here for the past couple of hours, has decided to spin up numerous tornadoes here over the past few minutes, and will continue to at least have that threat heading towards the I-20 corridor. Now, thankfully, the farther you get west across the area, again, the lesser the threat of a tornado, because the wind direction at the surface there is a little less favorable for tornado development. Yes, Carson.
So just a report on those storms moving into Smith County. We've got reports of the sirens going off in White House.
All right, so tornado sirens going off. Of course, that's going to happen in any tornado warning. We certainly hope that is the case. Again, tornado sirens used for outdoor alerts. It's very helpful for our farmers and anybody else who works outdoors. If you're indoors, though, it's not the great reliable way of receiving weather alerts. Make sure you have another way, like the East Texas Storm Team app or a NOAA weather radio. And again, that is for the storm that is heading into parts of Smith County right now. The areas of Smith County included in this tornado warning: Arp, Salem, Overton, Troop, and the brushy areas, and into parts of Rusk County. This includes New London, Price, and the Big Springs area. So again, to recap everything that is going on here, we'll zoom out the view. If you happen to just be joining us now, we have had several confirmed tornadoes that have been touching on the ground out there. And we are continuing to track even more tornado-warned storms out in our area. Yes, Tori.
Andrew, the National Weather Service has now canceled the tornado warning for Panola, St. Augustine, and Shelby counties. It looks like the south central Panola, western Shelby, and north central St. Augustine.
All right, so that's right. Canceled warnings, canceled is the word we certainly want to hear right now. That is some good news. That was the thunderstorm that included Timpson Center and the Ironosa area. So if you were in those spots like Center, Timpson, Tenaha, you can now get out of your tornado safe place. Tornado threat, for now, at least, is over, keeping in mind that there are still more storms to the south. So tornado threat's not entirely over yet, but in terms of any active tornado warnings, it looks like that last tornado warning that we have active right now is that one in central Rusk County, Carson, and just based off a little analysis here, doesn't really look like it has anything on the ground, or the rotation certainly not as tight as it was before, but still, if it's spun up once earlier, it can easily spin up it again.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Andrew, that's what we're going to be dealing with throughout the course of the afternoon. Lots of showers and thunderstorms outside right now. And as you mentioned, there's not a lot going on that would spell a tornado moving into Smith, and I don't really see anything in Rusk County either. But nonetheless, we need to treat these as active tornado warnings because, one, they are active tornado warnings, and they do have a history of producing tornadoes as well. So we do have this storm that continues to move into portions of Smith County, but I do want to show the radar loop. I mean, there's just no organization whatsoever with these storms. I mean, they're bands associated with a tropical system. What that means are these outer bands are what's producing the tornadoes. So as opposed to seeing the classic supercell setup that we do tend to see, where the rear flank downdraft is pretty much the place you do look out for the potential at tornadoes, we're not seeing that right now, and they're not moving from southwest to northeast like they typically do. They're moving the opposite direction, so they're moving more so from the southeast to the northwest. And we still have a tornado warning that goes until 1:45. This does include portions of Cherokee and Smith County, and anywhere in these clouds, we could see something spin up at any time. So if you're in that polygon, including if you're in southeastern Smith County, because I know we've got several viewers in that region, from Troop up to Sinclair City, up to Arp, Wright City, Salem, anywhere along Lake Tyler, this is a place where you do need to be seeking shelter immediately. Now, we do have our radio listeners as well, so State Highway 135, no driving along State Highway 135 for the next few minutes, and then Farm to Market Road 345, State Highway 64, most people tend to use that to get from Henderson to Tyler, but you can also get through Turnertown and Old and New Chapel Hill that way. But no driving in southeastern Smith County along State Highway 64, Selman City as well. Make sure you're in shelter if you live in New London, and then also if you live in Joinerville, Price, anywhere along Highway 110 from Troop to New Summerfield. That's also an area where you're going to want to seek shelter as well, because you are under a tornado warning, and especially in the reflectivity where we are seeing this red right now, that's where we could have a tornado form at any time. Again, we're not seeing any evidence here in the storm center of that happening, but it is something that we are closely monitoring right now. Tori.
There's been a new warning for Harrison, Texas, and Panola. That'll go till 2:30.
All right.
That's south central Harrison County. And
so go ahead and repeat that real quick.
Harrison, Texas, Panola, Texas, tornado warning until 2:30.
Okay, so that's going to populate as the polygon right there. So